So then my friends, welcome back to a bit of Maths Medicine. Now in this video I'm just going to be covering something very quickly. It is just breaking down a drum and bass track. Now the majority of rollers drum and bass tracks, they start with 64 to 96 beats before the drop. Now in the last video I said this, so once again 32 beats before the drop. So if you didn't know what that meant in the last video, essentially I'm going to be breaking it down in this video and hopefully give you guys a better understanding of how a drum and bass track breaks down. So I'm going to show you rather than explain. Let's do this. So then my friends, I'm going to be breaking it down on Serato and then we will go over to Rekordbox very quickly and I will show you guys the same thing on there. So to begin with, like I mentioned in the last bit of the video, you have 64 beats in the majority of tracks. Sometimes it might be 96, but in the one I've got on screen here, it's 64 beats before the drop. So we know that 32 beats is the halfway house, and very handily the auto loop feature contains 32 beats. So if you come over to your auto loop, as you can see on screen, that should be changing between 8, 16, 32 when I press these things. If you've got a DDJ4, I believe you'll have two arrows on one pointing that way, one pointing that way on the top right of your decks or whatever, and you press those, that should also change your auto loop feature. So hit 32 beats, go back on your jog wheel, and that brings us exactly to the halfway house of the track. And we now know we've got another 32 beats before the drop, because of course there's 64 beats in total. Now if you look at the waveform, you can actually see how the 32 beats breaks down. So if you see, when I go another 32 beats, it might make it a little easier. You can see the start of the track has the nice thick blue section. That's 132 beats. Then it breaks down into the it's not really a build-up, but we'll call it a build-up on this track. Yeah, so goes down into the build-up, and then the drop, funnily enough, also breaks down into 32 beats. So if you see, the drops obviously contain mini breaks and then one big break. Sometimes they have another build-up in between to the second drop. But on this one in particular, we have 64 beats in between each side of the drop before the break. As you can see, that's 32 and 32 again. If you can see my arrow on the waveform moving around, we are now at the halfway point between the drop, and yeah, we now know we've got another 64 beats of the track left. So what you would do is, at this stage, you would then go, okay, I've got 64 beats left. What I need to do is pull another track that, funnily enough, I've set a cue point on. This is where cue points come into play, my friends. Haven't mentioned them yet in the video, but they were coming. So this is where your cue points come in. You don't then need to do that 32 beat that I've just done, because you've got your cue point preset. So if I go back straight to the song, you know what, I'm just going to preload it in. Cue point, bam, straight to 32 beats. So when this track on the left here comes in on there, my bad, we're going to go back, comes in on the next drop, we can start that, and then fingers crossed, you should have them both come in at the same time. I say fingers crossed, you will have them both come in at the same time, because you know they've both got 32 beats left. This is what I mean. Once you know that they've both got 32 beats, I'm not even wearing headphones. Look, there's not even a headphone feature, but I'm pretty sure this is going to work out. It might sound shite, but we'll see. But that's what I mean. 32 beats before the drop, and yeah, once you've got that 32 beat breakdown of a track in your head, if you look, Rockwell Vent also breaks down near enough the same way, except the break is not 64 beats in, but it's 96 beats in. If you look at the waveform, you can see it happening. I'm just going to start them, stop them, and then show you this, well, I say happening, show you where this happens. If you come back to here, and then that's the next little bit of the track. But yeah, it's, like I say, it's relatively straightforward. Once you've got the basics of that 32 beat thing, because that's now out of the 32 beat pattern that we want, but then all you need to do is go back to your cue point. You're then in the 32 beat pattern that you want again, and you can literally just skip through a song like that. Like I say, my friends, very straightforward. But yeah, once you've got that down to a T, breaking down a drum and bass track is fucking easy, and yeah, makes double dropping life so much easier. So very quickly, we're going to go over to Rekordbox. Hopefully you'll still be able to see. It might be a little bit shitty, so I'm just going to load one track into the top there, because I think you guys can only see the top 1.5 ones cut off. Now, the same thing here, as you can see, like I mentioned previously, the start of the tracks don't always start where you want them to. So when you go over, this track's by Freaking Kit, by the way, I apologise for not having the artist on there, I should do. When you go over to here, this is your loop section on rekordbox, you'll see the same thing, 4, 8, 16, 32. Now, if you hit the auto loop, you'll see the exact same thing. Now, we don't want to do it there. You might have to do it a little bit differently in rekordbox. You can, as you can see, just skip through very nicely like that, 32 across. It's a little bit harder to see with this track, so I will try and load one in. So there you go, a little bit easier to see, but the startup's horrible. So with rekordbox, I personally think it's a lot harder to basically read your waveforms and when the 32 beat. As you can see, you know, we're going to load the exact same track in and see if there's the difference. Yeah, it can be a little difficult. I don't know, I personally don't use rekordbox, so I don't know if there's a way to change this. If there is a way and you're a regular rekordbox user, please let me know and I will try and address that in the next video. But yeah, oh Christ, what have I done now? Oh, there we go, fantastic. So yeah, 32, going across full screen, boom. As you can see, nice and simple. If you want to start, sorry guys, I don't use rekordbox, but hopefully it has pointed you in the right direction. 32 across, there we are for the build up, and then once again there is the drop. So my friends, I apologise for that shameful use of rekordbox, but yeah, I will update my knowledge on rekordbox. Like I say, don't use it much, but hopefully what I did in Serato and then showed on, well I say showed, attempted to show on rekordbox, hopefully translated over in some way, my friends. Yeah, any more questions on how Rollers track, well I say Rollers track, any drum and bass track in general breaks down, please do let me know, reach out to me, comment, any of that shit, reply, we'll get back to you, and yeah, once again, we can hopefully all grow as drum and bass DJs together. So my friends, without further ado, it brings us to another end of a video. So thank you very much if you made it this far. Peace and love to you all. As always, please consider liking, subscribing. All that shit really does mean a lot. Support for the channel. Thank you, my friends, once again. Peace and love. Take care.